Today we're going to be checking out one of the first HD camcorders from the mid-2000s. This here is the Sony HVR-Z1U from 2005. So I'll tell you a little bit about this camera, I'll tell you where I got it from, we'll go over the specs, we'll go over the features, and then we'll check out some test footage that comes out of this camcorder to determine to see if this is the right camcorder to add to your camera collection. Hey there, welcome back to my camera collection. If you're new around here, we like to check out retro camcorders from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and mid-2000s. So if you're into retro technology, or even just retro camcorders in a whole, you're in the right place. So you better damn well subscribe, boy, or ma'am. You subscribe right now. You do it. You better do it right now, please. We don't got much room right here, do we? It's kind of hard to see my face. We'll do that. Okay, this doesn't look super great, but we're gonna get this video in. So I got this camcorder from a friend on my Discord page. If you watched my previous video about the Sony MRC1, if you didn't watch that, there's a card up above that you can check out if you want to go watch that video on how to go tapeless the best way possible. This camcorder and the MRC1 came all the way from Vietnam, so I appreciate it to my friend who sent that out to me. But this one's actually pretty beat up. It works completely fine. He had the tape deck rebuilt and all that, but the body on it is just gross. It's pretty beat up and a lot of rusty screws and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if it's humid in Vietnam. I assume it is, but yeah, there's a lot of rusty screws and oxidized areas on here. So what I could find with this camcorder is it originally cost $5,000 in 2005 for this camcorder. This was one of the very first HDV camcorders that were out. It's one of the first camcorders that could record 1080i from my understanding. But yeah, still $5,000 in 2005 was still pretty damn expensive. So to see how far the price has dropped on these is pretty incredible. If you've ever seen the Sony FX1, I think it's the HDR FX1, this camera looks very, very similar to it, and that's because, well, this is the professional version of that camcorder. If you have a FX1 or had an FX1 and it didn't do everything that you really needed it to do, well, then you were able to upgrade to the Z1U. And I believe you can use this camcorder with NTSC and PAL. I think it's compatible with both. So you don't have to have a European model or a American model, I guess. This is, you know what? We're moving this. There, that looks a lot better. Jeez. If you record in NTSC, you can record 1080i at 60i or 60 frames per second, or you can record in 480 at 60i. And if you use it in PAL, you can record at 1080 by 50i, or you can record at 480 at 50i. Now this camcorder does have a 1/3 of an inch 3 CCD sensor in it, and it creates 1.12 million pixels, or 1.12 million pixels. So that means that it is a 1.1 megapixel video camera. Yeah, 1 megapixel. Nowadays, you'd be like, dude, that is terrible. But dude, back then, if you had a camcorder that could do over 1 million pixels, that's crazy. You got yourself a megapixel camera. Nowadays, what do we have? We have like do we have over 30 megapixels now? I don't even know what cameras are at nowadays with 4K and 8K. The lens is a 4.5 millimeter to a 54 millimeter. It's also got a 12 times optical zoom without any digital zoom. So a lot of the professional camcorders that Sony made, they didn't put digital zooms into them because, damn it, digital zoom is not professional. Change my mind. Don't change my mind because I don't like using digital zoom. 12 times optical zoom, it's a little low, but generally, I mean, if you're using this for a professional purpose or professional setting, I don't think you're really going to be zooming in all that far anyway. So I don't even know if when these first came out, people were really using the full 12x zoom on it. The lens aperture on this is a f1.6 to a f2.4. It has a minimum illumination of 3 lux, so it does all right in low light. It's got 2 built-in ND filters on it, and you can switch on the side here. Very traditional spot where Sony likes to put their ND filter switch. You have a 1/4, which is a 1.5 stop, and you have a 1/32, which is a 5-stop. It also has a lovely 3.5-inch LCD screen on it, and it is compatible with 16:9. I think the placement of the screen is just awesome. I love where it's at. Kind of gets it closer to your face, especially if you're using it, holding it by the handle and getting a low angle on it. Now, I wasn't able to get any information on the viewfinder for pixels or the size or anything, but you can obviously see that the viewfinder is kind of broken, and I put the viewfinder magnifying piece somewhere. Where the fuck did I put it? Oh. So I think I might have to jerry-rig this, but there's the magnifying piece right there. It doesn't have the rubber eye cup or anything, and it doesn't want to stay locked in because the plastic down here is broken. So I might even have to replace the entire viewfinder on this. So we'll see someday. I don't know. But it is a colored viewfinder, and what's cool is you can simultaneously use it and the screen at the same time. So they can both be on, and you don't have to close the screen for the viewfinder to pop on. It's also got a shutter speed range of 1 in 4 or a fourth, and all the way up to 10,000. You can do pretty well with low light with this little guy. Big guy. He's a big guy. It's also got a gain range of 0 dB all the way up to 18 dB. And this camcorder is also compatible with DV, DV cam, and HDV recording. So any tape that is that, or any kind of format you want to use between those three, it will support that. So the maximum record time on one tape, if you use it in HDV mode, you get 60 minutes. If you use it in DV cam mode, you get 40 minutes, and if you use it in the regular DV mode, you get 60 minutes as well. So pretty much like the 480p option, the standard definition option. And it does weigh 4.3 pounds or 1.9 kilograms. So it's kind of a chunky boy, that's for sure. So those are most of the important specs that I could find. We'll go around and check out the physical features on it, and I'm gonna kind of try and keep them a little bit simple because this camcorder is so packed with features. So we'll start off at the lens. This camera does come with a nice, well, this lens hood isn't nice, but if you had a nice one, it's a nice lens hood. This one's pretty beat up and jiggly. It's got a lens hood there so you can close it when you want, put it in your bag, or store it so it doesn't get dusty. Open it back up when you're ready. You got a little screw over here where you can loosen the lens hood on it, and it twists and pops off, revealing the 72mm lens thread diameter on it. So for all my skateboarders out there, if you want to run a fisheye on this guy, you can find a 72mm fisheye for this. I think that's as big as most fisheye lenses go. The threads on them is 72mm. So I'll leave a link to a fisheye down in the description if you want to get one for your Z1U. And it does have a Carl Zeiss, is that how you say it? Zeiss? Carl Zeiss lens on it. Along with that, you get a nice focus wheel here. And this one, well, I keep saying nice, but everything on this camera is just very beat up. This one is kind of loud. Yeah, a little noisy. And then you have a manual zoom ring here and a nice little, I guess, handle here on the side if you want. You can grab it and move it left and right, or you can just grab the whole wheel itself and twist it as you want. Kind of gives me Panasonic vibes. A lot of Panasonic cameras have that little nut right there. Coming back, you got your ND filter switch here. So the bottom one is off, the middle one is your 1 and your 2. You have some custom preset buttons up here. So you got 4, 5, and 6. Your other preset buttons, custom preset buttons, are just down below, and you got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right there, along with your focus switch here, so you can switch it between auto or manual focus, and then obviously going into infinity zooms it all the way out, as far out as it'll go. You have a silver wheel right here, and that is your iris wheel, so you can adjust the iris manually if you want, along with your gain switch here, so you can actually have some custom settings on that, so you can actually have it on high, medium, and low, and you can adjust those in the menu as you want them or prefer them. And then you got another switch here, and you can set your white balance. So you have an A and a B, so you can customly set those to the colored Kelvin that you want. If you want it more more blue or more orange for indoor or outdoor recording. You can set that up exactly how you want it, or you can just set a custom white balance right there with that button. Down here is your iris, manual on or off. So you can turn it to manual or auto, along with your shutter speed, manual on or off, and your white balance, manual on or off. You got another switch back here. Like I said, there's a lot of features on this. And this is your switch to turn it from auto mode, manual mode, or auto lock. So lock in your presets if you want. You got a little window right here, and that is to monitor your audio levels. If you have an external mic plugged in, or if you have a XLR plug-in, you can choose how much audio you want on both of the channels. On the back here, you have a switch, and you can switch it to peaking, off, or zebra. And then you got a couple switches here for your audio selections. So you can switch it between manual, auto on channel 1 or channel 2, along with your picture profile, your menu, and your professional menu. I don't know what P menu actually stands for, to be honest. Just below that, you got your status check button, and I think it just kind of shows you all the information that the camera is reading, along with your menu button. Menu scroll wheel here, and it rolls up and down, pushes in like a button to select things. And this one actually works a lot better than a lot of the Sony ones, older Sony camcorders that are real glitchy. So this one's not super glitchy, and I think it actually might be metal. You also have a DC in right here. It's your traditional Sony DC in. A lot of older Sony camcorders have that plug-in there. Battery compartment right here, obviously. I have a real small NP-F battery in there. I definitely recommend using a big boy NP-F battery. You have your battery release button here. It is not hard to miss. You got some indicators here to show if you are in HDV mode or just DV mode. Your power switch / record button back here, and this little flap is broken, but you do get your LANC, your wired remote plug-in. That's a 2.5mm jack there, along with your headphone jack as well, and those are extremely dirty. Goodness. I do want to make a comment on the hand strap. A while back I made a review on the Sony FX7, and this kind of reminds me of the Sony FX7, and the hand strap is just super comfy like the Sony FX7 as well. The body kind of cups your palm as well, so just your hand sits in there nice and comfy, so you can sit and record with this for hours, and your hand is going to be nice and comfy and snuggled up next to the camera. You got your two XLR ports here. You got your channel 1 and channel 2, or input 1 and input 2, and then you have your on and off switches right here to turn those on or off right there on the front. Coming around on the back, you have a release button here, so you can take the viewfinder magnifier off, and like I said, it is broken, and there is your focus for the viewfinder. Up on the handle though, you do get your rocker zoom up here on the handle, and I do believe that is just a 1 speed in and 1 speed out on that. You can actually choose the different speeds if you want with this little switch here on the side, so you can turn it off, high, medium, and low as well. A lot of other camcorders have that feature as well. You got your record button here up on top, along with a switch to turn that on or off, just to make sure you don't actually accidentally bump it and start recording or stop recording while using the camera. So a lot of other camcorders have that as well. I love having the record button up on top of the handle though, because it's just a real quick way to start recording as well. I forgot to mention that it does have the rocker zoom here as well. I love Sony rocker zooms. They're always very comfortable to use and respond exactly how I want them to, along with your expanded focus here. So this doesn't actually take pictures. That's usually where the picture button would be. So expand focus is, it kind of digitally zooms in. It should have like a square kind of in the center of the screen, and it'll digitally zoom in, and then you can really fine tune your focus if you need to. You also got some other indicators here, indicating it'll light up if it's in HDV mode, or it'll light up if it's in DV cam mode. You got some buttons here. It's labeled shot transition, and I think that might mean like your fades. You got some fade in and fade outs. They're probably kind of cheesy, I'm guessing, but I think that might be what it means. I haven't played around all that much with a lot of these features on this camera, but it does have an A and a B, so you can probably have 2 presets for your fades, is what I'm guessing, your transitions. You got your switch here for your tape deck. So usually the tape decks are on the right side, but this one's on the left side, just like the good old VX1000. but you can pop that open and the camera will just automatically pop the tape deck out. Back up here on the handle again. Sorry, I'm kind of jumping all over the place. You got your 3.5-inch LCD screen. This thing looks kind of beat up and scratched as well, but you have all your playback functions up here as well. So you have your rewind, your play, your fast forward, and your slow motion. So you can actually do slow motion while watching playback on this camcorder, along with your stop and your pause, both your record buttons. Along with that, you got your volume buttons, your minus and your plus, and your LCD brightness, minus and plus as well. And you have a LCD backlight. You got it on or off, along with your display/battery info, your date and time code, your end search in VCR, and you have your TC/U bit. So those are all those buttons there. Hiding underneath the handle, you'll probably have to see it in the B-roll, but right there where my finger is a playback speaker. You also got a shotgun mount here, so you can put a shotgun XLR mic there if you want to, along with a kind of a weird mounted cold shoe up here as well, along with your stereo microphone, and it has a infrared receiver here on the front of the microphone, and there's another one right underneath the viewfinder as well, right there, so you can use a wireless infrared remote on the front or the back of the camera and it will recognize it. A couple of things I forgot. You got a switch right here, and that is your ring zoom. So you have to switch that to actually get the manual zoom on the ring here, or you can switch it to the lever/remote and you'll be able to use the rocker zoom, or if you have a infrared remote, you can use the zoom on the infrared remote to use the zoom as well. Other than that, I think I covered everything on that. I was trying to move through that real quick, not keep you guys bored for too long. So yeah, this camcorder is pretty beat up. I think I need to fix a couple things on this, but overall, I mean, this camcorder works great. It reads tapes completely fine. And like I said, the tape deck has been apparently completely rebuilt, so it will read tapes and work completely fine as it should. I'm not sure if I want to sell this just yet. I kind of want to do a giveaway when I hit 5,000 subscribers, and I might use this camera. I might use something different. I don't know. I kind of got to think of something and plan something out, and my lights are dying, so if it starts to get dark, I apologize. But yeah, that'll do it for this review. We'll go ahead and check out some of the test footage that comes out of this, and let me know what you think of the footage that comes out of the Sony HVR-Z1U. Do you own this camera? Have you ever wanted one? Let me know what you think of this camcorder. If you want to support the channel, you can shop through my eBay store. I have plenty of camcorders and other things on there that you can shop and get for yourself. I'll add some links to accessories for this, like batteries, chargers, recorders, fisheyes, all the bells and whistles to get your camcorder rolling. Those will be Amazon affiliate links, so if you shop through those links and buy anything, you will be supporting the channel, and if you do, thank you. So with all that being said, let's check out some of the test footage that comes out of this Sony Z1U. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to check out some other cool Sony camcorders, tap or click the screen above. If you want to check out my last video, you can also tap or click the screen above me. And thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like. And if you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe, because we talk about old school retro camcorders almost on a weekly basis. And on that note, we'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.